This is a message to black people. Any black brother or black sister who is feeling tired, any black brother or black sister who is feeling like giving up, I want you to take a minute and think about the great things that your ancestors ever did. And if you think that I'm joking, I want you to watch this video. It really shows you how resilient black people are. No white person can ever even smell or understand the greatness that comes with black people. Hold on. I know some folks are gonna say I'm Afrocentric, a black supremacist. Okay, I get it. I understand from your perspective. But now, when we're talking about black people and the concept of black resilience that black people have shown over time in human history, trust me when I tell you, black people are the most resilient race that human being has ever observed in human history. Tell me why. These are a group of people, after even demolishing everything that they built, they still sprouting, coming back, and still challenging you. It's like cutting somebody's legs and then they're still beating you in a race. Yes, sounds almost impossible, but this is what black folks are doing. Brothers and sisters are sharing beautiful stories and touching stories that shows you that black people have gone through pain. But the greatest thing is this: resilience. The black resilience, nobody beats the black resilience. I'm your host and presenter, Jidok Stories. I want us to watch this video. I'll be back and then we'll share our thoughts. Today's video is a little bit different, but I hope you still get the value, because this video is going to remind you as a black person who you're forgetting that you are a king. You come from a royal place as a black person. You need to know this, because everything that is happening or everything that black folks are doing, I'll term it as supernatural. Black people are supernatural. I'm not exaggerating, but this is just the truth. So let's watch the video. I'll be back and then I'll be sharing my thoughts. For those who are watching us for the first time, consider subscribing to the channel, join our membership, really get to see what we can offer you. But until then, let's get into it. I'll be back.
White folk, the supposed standard bearers that can't even bear their own fucking standard. The hypocrisy. A few things I want to say. I'm gonna quote the words of our brother Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. He said, "A lie begins with a voice, but a revolution begins with the voice you choose to believe." It's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to discuss at the moment. What I don't want to do is sound redundant, but I want to say to the white folk out here, your hypocrisy is fucking astounding. The fact that you believe your own lies. You tell yourself a lie long enough, you'll start believing it is truth. You breed more serial killers than anything. You breed more rapists, more pedophiles, patricide, matricide, genocide. Every single fucking side you guys have breeded. And unfortunately, you're like a cancer that is spread throughout the world's populations. There's been so much hatred instilled in our people because of your religion. And my people, where we have fucked up is that we're actually perpetuating this shit. We're living every fucking lie and every fucking stereotype that has been slapped upon us. White folk, let me say something to you. This white pride thing y'all got going on now, This, I'm white, I'm not going to feel guilty. You shouldn't. But I want to say to you that you don't have a dog in this fucking fight. You stay over there with your white pride. Stay over there with your non-guiltlessness. Because let me tell you something. Empty wagons make the most fucking noise. You're like fucking children. You're like fucking children. You can't take shit. First, when I remember when the pandemic came in, a lot of y'all started losing your jobs. Guess what y'all motherfuckers did? You started murdering. You murdered yourself and your whole fucking families because you couldn't stand to be without your money, your means of taking care of yourself. Your money is your power. It's been proven. It's known that your money is your supposed power. Meanwhile, my people don't have that much money, but we do. And our power is still undeniable. So who's superior to who? Who? We are the stone that the builder refused. I got that from their show, The Boondocks. I'll say it again. We are the stone the builders refused. We are the workers that put stone on top of stone that will never pay for it. You want to talk shit about us getting reparations? You want to talk shit about us unifying? You got something to say about everything that our people do, except for the shit that y'all do. And I'm going to be honest with you, just like all of us, I am tired of you motherfuckers. You fake, pseudo-ass, intelligent motherfuckers. I'm sick of all of you. The statistics are this. First of all, we don't control the media. We don't control the statistics. The U.S. Census. We don't control that shit. Your folk do. Black on black crime. I keep hearing these crackers talking about black on black crime. Fool, don't you know it's a such thing as white on white crime too? Our shit is just not publicized. Your shit is not publicized like ours is. There's an agenda by the media to put a black eye on everything concerning our folk. The media tells the stories, but they don't tell yours because they don't want the image of you tainted out here in the world's eye. But they don't mind tainting ours. Black folks understand how powerful we are. Please understand that. When you got a whole fucking nation, when you got nations turned against you, that have tried every single way to destroy you, every single way to break you spiritually and physically, economically, socially, but to no fucking avail. Our strength is unmatched. Our strength is unmatched. My soul is full this morning, and I feel tears welling up in my eyes because this is something that is dear to my fucking heart. Black folks, wake the fuck up and realize your power. And stand together everywhere across this fucking world. Africa is standing up because we are. Do you understand that? Africa is waking up because we're waking up. It's the time for this. Seize the momentum. Ride this energy wave, family, and see how much we can accomplish together. There's so much I want to say, but I don't want to bore y'all with semantics. I don't want to keep going, repeating the same thing over and over again. But family, let me tell you something. We're going to be remembered. We will never be forgotten. We'll never be exterminated. Never. There's too many of us. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. I'm in this for the glory of our people. I speak and move this way for the glory of our people. I want to set a different precedence. I want to be remembered for of being one of the voices that stood for us, breaking every fucking stereotype, every fucking label. If you're not in it for the glory, sit down and go to the back. Because that's what I'm in it for. I'm just going to be honest with you. I want to be remembered just like we still speak about Marcus Garvey 200 something years later. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner. Oh, the list goes on, y'all. The list goes on. Find your pride and your self-dignity. Black man and black woman. Find it. These folks have the audacity to create laws, break them, and then create more laws to protect them from the ones that they've broken. And to those of you who want to be in white folks' spaces all the fucking time, you stay there. You stay there. Traitors, you can't come back home. You cannot. Stay where the fuck you are. One thing about the internet is that the footprint is fucking forever. It's forever. And it'll follow you all the days of your motherfucking life. Our unity is our strength and their downfall. Yeah, they got drones, they got drone operators, they got more guns than we got. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of dissonance going on, a lot of cognitive dissonance going on in their ranks. A lot. To where I know for a fact that their weapons of mass destruction will not be turned on us. Because family, I'm going to tell you something, I'm not itching for a war. None of us are.
Have you ever heard of a black town called Nicodemus, Kansas? I know I didn't. Let's get into it. Nicodemus, Kansas, a town that's still standing today as a symbol of freedom and resilience. So let me tell you why this story definitely matters. So picture this, after the Civil War, right? During like the Reconstruction stages where freedom was definitely promised, but it did not talk about or show that there was going to be safety or opportunities for black people. Remember I was talking about that sad story yesterday and reminded y'all that things were happening in Alabama? Well, things are happening in Kansas too. Like people are not sitting down and waiting to find out. They are doing something. You're not going to help me. I'm going to help myself. Especially those who were formerly enslaved families. They were still stuck in the South facing like sharecropping, poverty, brutal violence. But instead of waiting for change, you know how black people are, some of them created their own way. In 1877, inspired by the biblical story of Exodus. Yeah, a group of black families packed up everything, y'all, everything that they had and left and went to Kansas. Raise your hand if you ever heard a story where people can just pack up and just move. It was always heard about us fleeing and leaving with just the clothes on our back and a little bit of food. Never did. This was the so-called promised land. They became known as the Exodusters. Never heard of it. Nicodemus was founded in the same year by 6 black men, including a man named William R. Hill. They invited black families to settle there, offering them a chance to live free from the terror of the South. I can just imagine it. Like they like, the hell with this. I'm going to Kansas. We about to create our own shit. Yes. Yes. But life wasn't easy. When they first settled, they found nothing but open prairies, right? No trees, no houses, nothing but endless grass. So imagine stepping off of a wagon with your family, knowing it was up to you to build everything from scratch with your own bare hands. They've been doing this for years. And build they did. They talk about us being lazy. Yes. And that laziness always gets to me. It's like, fool, we were building. We were what? Electricians, plumbers, we were carpenters, we were farmers. What are you talking about, lazy? Out there in that sun. Let me see you stand out in the sun with no sunscreen, because they didn't have sunscreen then. They sure had cancer though. And build they did. Nicodemus became a thriving community. They had homes, churches, schools, businesses. This is plural. It was more than just a town. It was proof that black people could govern themselves, educate their children, and create thriving economies even in the face of systemic racism. For a while, Nicodemus did flourish, right? As a beacon of hope for black Americans across the country. I would have said if I didn't know about it, that if they did it in the past, we can do it again, but it's already being done. There are black communities being built. There are black people buying up land in the South, creating black communities. I can't wait till one is done because I'm definitely going to go visit. But that dream wasn't without struggles, right? The harsh Kansas winters and poor crops definitely tested the settlers, right? Especially when the railroads came. They built a railroad through other towns. Nicodemus, they bypassed, cutting it off from the trade routes. So many families were forced to leave in search for better opportunities. So that's that fear coming back in because they know that town was thriving. You hear me? So they were like, how can we best hurt this town to make them disperse so they won't be strong as a unit? We'll build around them. We'll build this railroad around them so they can't get shit. See, hate, fear, and by that, the population of that town dwindled. So why should you care about Nicodemus today? You know, it's because it's a black history that's been hidden. I have no clue about this place until now. It showed resilience, and it's a reminder of strength that it took to carve out a future when the world had tried to erase you. The world, yes. Nicodemus is still standing. Recognized as a national historic site, still don't know about it in its history being made. The only remaining black settlement west of Mississippi from that era. So what does Nicodemus teach us about self-reliance, especially about community? Like, how does this story inspire us to reclaim and celebrate our history? So let's talk about it in the comments, because these are the stories that show us who we really are. These are the things that they don't want us to know. I told y'all, if we get together, we can do anything. I want you to look up Nicodemus, Kansas. Learn about the Exodusters and how they built their freedom. Like, share this story with someone like me who's never heard of it. And if you visited Nicodemus or learned something surprising about it, please drop it in the comments. I am always going to be curious. So let's keep this story alive. Black history and hidden black history isn't just about pain. It's about power, it's about resilience, and the determination to thrive. Nicodemus is proof of that. So let's keep uncovering these hidden gems together. All right? I want y'all to stay curious and definitely drop those comments. I want to hear from y'all.
My older brother went to prison at the same time that I went to college. We did prison and college together. He was so far away from me, I couldn't see him, and that was one of the things that was incredibly depressing to me, because he and I were very, very close. Whereas before, he was 30 minutes from home, he was moved further south, and for about 2 years, and I'm gonna start crying. For about 2 years, we were not able to see him. All we got were letters. The phone calls were far and few between because we couldn't afford them. We didn't have the money for him to call and check in on us and see how he was doing and things like that. And then when we were, he ended up coming a little bit closer. It was still really far away. And so we were able to see him maybe once a year as best we could. And that was a hard thing. That was a hard thing to deal with, in addition to seeing my younger brothers struggle at home, because he and I were the ones, when we were home, we were the ones providing most of the income for the house. And so for me to be off at college and somewhat thriving and know that my older brother was in prison going through whatever it was he was going through, and my younger brothers were at home struggling, not knowing where their next meal was coming from. That was a very difficult thing to deal with. And again, it was something that was out of my control. But I knew that if I got my degree, and I went on and I got a job, a decent job, I could help. Right. I couldn't bring my brother home. He had to do his time. There was nothing that I could do about that. But if I had the money, then that meant that I could have a car and we could go and see him at least. He could call us. I could send money home so my brothers could eat. Simple things like that, right? Again, not something that I had control over, but realizing that I did not have that control, but the degree could help, right? Getting to that degree, finishing my education, setting an example for my younger brothers to help them do better. Those were things that I could control. The other stuff, they just fell into place. There was no miracle recipe. It just worked out.
Black people are starting to wake up and the spell is over. The veil has lifted, the curse, whatever you want to say that we was under, because some religious groups, specifically I think Mormons, say that black people are cursed. We ain't going no more. The energy harvesting is not working. The energy siphoning is not working. And I am so proud of us. I am so proud of us. I really feel like there's been a big shift, a big reset. They say this is the age of the Aquarius, but we literally are waking up. They want us to be out in the streets so bad, rioting, looting, protesting, and we ain't going. We ain't going. Another community, the Latinos, they try to get us out there. They keep going. Why y'all not out here fighting and marching? We ain't going. Now they talking about segregation. Why we don't care? And black people got a bad take because we all saying we don't give a damn. Do it. Do it. Do it. We don't give a damn. We ain't going. We're not allowing you all to steal and siphon our energy. And I love that for us. I love that for us real bad. Like I said, if we had to separate, if something happened, I believe in us so much that I believe that we will flourish. I believe that all that's happening has been a wake-up call to us as a collective to continue to get our eggs in a row, our ducks in a row, our affairs in order, and to continue to put on for ourselves and to pour back into our community. And I really love that for ourselves. I really do. Shouts out to the melanin-rich Americans. Shouts out to us. What y'all think about this? Do y'all feel like there's been a shift? Because I can feel the shift. I can feel it. We're not going. It doesn't work anymore. And we keep saying we ain't our ancestors. We are our ancestors. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. We are them times 10. I love y'all. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
Oh, I'm for the ruffle some feathers when I say this. The only reason y'all want to say white pride is because we say black pride. If we would have never said it, y'all would have never said it. Y'all copy us at every chance y'all get. Because what y'all proud for? Right.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching me from. I'm your host, again your presenter, Eugene Stories. From all the points that you've heard about black people, this video should serve as a reminder or as a message to anyone who is thinking about giving up. Think about the fights that your ancestors did. Think about all those great things that they ever did. And it just doesn't end from the good things that they did. See how stoic black people are. See how strong. See how they have a withstanding a strong faith that despite anything wrong that is happening, even today in the United States, they will always come back. And they lived throughout the worst, but they still survived. During those times, during the transatlantic slave trade, I want to take you back to history when all this were happening. During the transatlantic slave trade, remember, black people were kept in the ships. I'm talking about black people that were brought from Africa. I understand not all of them, but black people that were brought from Africa. Now, the conditions that they put through these black people, surviving in that place and reaching the shores of Latin America, the shores of the Caribbean, the shores of the United States, and all these coastal places is a miracle. That itself tells you that even God Himself, God the Almighty, is in the side of black people. I understand. Say I'm a black supremacist, say I'm Afrocentric, but that's just the truth, and I'm saying facts. If you look at the conditions that black people were put, but they still went and survived and gave birth, and today we are seeing the population in the United States, black population thriving in the United States. That's not even enough. Look, these people were denied education. These people, literally, they were never given anything. But black folks today are still taking sports. Great sports that, and when I say sport, I'm talking a sport of position. They're taking great positions in the United States that still leave some white folks wondering, like, how come? How can they do that despite all these things that has been happening in the history, all these things that they have been observing happening in the history? Despite all that, they came out resilient, that they had so much strong resilience that can never be estimated with anything that I've ever seen. Black people are so much resilient. Another thing, it didn't just end there. They still went ahead and tried to demolish black businesses, black cities, right? Because imagine you denying a person 400 years without even them having anything of their own. They literally start from nothing and then comes back and they compete with you. Again, you feel like, no, these people are going to be overtaking us. You go ahead and again cut their legs, even their hands, like metaphorically. But still, you're afraid of the same people. Black people will still win even if they are crawling in the race, metaphorically crawling. Because all of those years of white success that they've had that was built by white people, and this is my argument, you people still have the guts of being jealous. You people still have the guts of feeling like black people are going to be overtaking you. You people still have this fear that one day you're going to be waking up in the morning finding yourself extinct. Do you know the magnitude of pain, of years of suffering, of agony that black people have went through all over human history? This is something that has been happening for the longest time in human history. But at the end of it all, people still don't see the resilience, the power from the struggles that black people have gone through. Why is this video important? This video is important because there is a black teenager somewhere in the United States, in Africa, what they were taught that they never did anything great in human history. And that's why I'm always insisting, even in my videos, please teach your kids black history so that they can have their own account of history. Because whatever we are being taught in these textbooks that we are being taught in schools, they are so Eurocentric. Oftentimes, they are biased. So as a parent, you are endowed with the knowledge because you know the truth. You're watching this video, you know the truth that all we are saying the truth. And so you are mandated as a parent. You are endowed with the knowledge and mandated with the responsibility of teaching your kids, of teaching your children on knowing their true history, on knowing who they really are. Remember, our identity, our power as black people is in the true history that is not being taught. So how will your child who is battling with racism, who is battling with colorism in the United States today, and all these crazy things that are happening, How will you convince them that they are great without teaching them their own history? Every oftentimes we have Afrocentric libraries somehow, somewhere, they are always going to be shut down. And this means that Black history is a threat even to the United States itself. So, you as a parent, you are endowed with the skills and knowledge and mandated to teach the coming generation, your kids, to know the true history, to know the greatness, to know that the royalty family that Black folks came from. I can say much and much and much and much and much about this. But at the end of the day, you know damn well that you are endowed with all this knowledge so that you can share, so that your kid in future will also share, so that we don't lose all this, right? But all in all, this video was to wake up your spirit as a Black person, because the energy of Black people they've always been trying to harvest the energy of Black people, but over time it has never been successful. It has never been possible. But why? Because Black folks have stood still in human history. Despite all those challenges they've gone through, they have came out strong, like a pyramid, if you know that song. So I'm your host and presenter, Jindak Stories. If you're watching us for the first time, I'll ask you to subscribe to the channel, join our membership, and really get so kind of for you. For those who are always supporting me through my super thanks, through my Cash App, which is on my bio, I'll most definitely appreciate you for the service, for the support that you're giving me. I'm your host and presenter, Jindak Stories. But until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salut.